Hey everyone, welcome to another Siege and Sandfox live stream. I'm the designer on the project, Chris Wilson, and once again, I am joined by our producer, Aidan. So what is this? This is our third week of
Yep.
doing the reviews of the build, and yeah, there's been quite a few changes actually, so I will hop right over to it. But before we get too much into it, did you want to go through some other stuff, or do
Oh
we?
yeah, there were some questions from YouTube. So the first one was about I said last week about custom blueprints for the lift, our double barrel lift as we're calling it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not that we're doing anything special. The lifts that we have are blueprints. We just have a kind of established placeable blueprint lift object. Yeah, there's the double barrel one, and they were never meant to do what we're now. I mean, this lift got even more complicated uh, this week.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so we need to modify those lifts specifically so that they can trigger each other, and it's not worth modifying the main blueprint so that all of the lifts can do this because we're not likely to ever want to do it again.
Yeah.
Which now that I've said that is almost a guarantee that we will want to do it again. But hey,
Oh.
I'll never admit it. So yeah, that's what I meant by custom blueprint. It's not anything particularly special. It just means there's an established blueprint that we plonk down for lifts, and we'll need to do some extra stuff, some extra scripty stuff around it just to get two lifts to talk to each other rather than making it a whole fully fledged feature.
Yeah, I mean, basically, when we asked Rex for what we wanted, it does all of that, and then we're like, yeah, that's great. How about all this other stuff we just came up with? So, yeah.
Yes, and the other one was about the sound rings, which are
Oh yeah, let
an
me.
interesting thing. So the most likely thing is that we're going to keep them or some kind of telegraphing device that works like them, but these effects aren't final.
Yeah, I mean,
So
so I've been thinking about this off and on, and actually, the thing is, for right now, like I haven't been mentioning it in these reviews because the focus is to get all of the, to get it basically completable, just be able to work through it all before I'm going to start nitpicking on that. And I actually think for now we've ended up in this situation where the effect and when it's triggered and everything is tied to stuff that's still in development around the player controller. So what's here isn't what anyone wants. Like it's not really representative, and yeah, the effect's not had a lot of work.
mhm.
So my gut feeling is for the demo, we'll probably just turn them off. They are, yeah,
They are a bit distracting as they are.
yeah, I mean,
Um,
actually, I saw. In fact, I think it was the commenter who said this as well, and it's something I've often on thought about. Is that a potential middle ground is that you only see them when someone notices it, um, because otherwise they literally don't do anything, right? If no one hears this sound, then it doesn't. You don't actually need to know how far it went.
hmm. If a tree falls over in the
Yes,
forest, Chris.
it's exactly that. And hey, you know what? I mean, the interesting thing is, obviously we talk about it a lot that, a big inspiration for our game was Mark and Ninja. And the interesting thing is the path we've taken is that our game started off, borrowing much more heavily from that game until it sort of felt like its own thing. Bren says, you're mad loud.
Yes. Yeah, Ollie's been nudging me as well.
Ah, okay.
I don't know,
Yeah,
as long as I'm activating still, I've nudged it back a little bit
right.
so that
Yeah.
maybe I'm no longer mad loud.
Yeah, apologies, guys. It's still new to sort of managing that. I don't have the best controls over guest audio. Okay, where was I? Yes, so we've taken a lot of inspiration from Mark and the Ninja, but a lot of the things actually when we started we just kind of pulled over and went, yeah, well, because Mark and the Ninja we've actually happily got rid of because they don't suit our game and our game's got our own feeling. And debatably, I mean, there's almost a 50-50 split through the team, I think. Debatably, this feature is also one of those ones that has always been, well, because Mark of the Ninja. And then when you look at it, you're like, well, I think functionally it's still quite useful. Something, again, this is down to splits people's opinions, is that I think it is harder to kind of, it's less instinctual to kind of feel how loud something is and how far it travels, compared to, if it's third or first person. But I think what Mark and Ninja did is very heavy-handed. But it kind of fit more with their art style, and I think if anything, our effect is kind of too similar to that. But anyway, I guess long story short, we need to look at it again, and what's here definitely doesn't work for anyone.
Yeah, I mean, from very early on, I mean, it starts too close to the player, and it just tends to distract you, and it also doesn't move nice. I mean, it's not supposed to move, but it kind of sticks to the screen and makes feels a little bit micro stuttery. And
Yeah.
anyway, like not final effect is not final. So there's
Yes.
plenty of iteration over that, and there's tons of more stuff that might arrive to
exactly
to hone people in on the right portion of the screen. Hopefully, we'll see more of that next.
So
tease that with vagueness.
Yes. Was there anything else like this? I can't remember if there was. Or
I believe that was it.
Hooray.
Let me double check. You can forge on ahead, and I'll double check. Yep.
All done?
Yep.
Cool. Obviously, you know, hey, if you're watching now, either on Twitch or later on YouTube, always send us questions. Email, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anything. We will collate them all and try and pick them up where it makes sense. So there isn't too much to say about this room. It's signed off, like, as far as I'm concerned. Like, we're going to do a pass for the point of interest stuff. We'll talk about that a bit more later, but it's fine. It does what it needs to do and no more. So hooray. Everything else that's left with it is kind of, you know, player controller issues, really.
Yes, this section of the demo has been that way for quite a while now. So,
yeah. And likewise with this, like, there's again, it's at the point where anything I might think I might want to finesse is just down to what the player controller ends up being, because obviously at the moment it's very hard to really get a feel for it. There's lots of issues. But anyway, this is coming along pretty well. So I took out the thing that said, hey, you can look around now, because you still can, but as I said, like, it's something that had crept in a number of places in the past, where it's like, okay, you can, but you don't really need to, so you kind of go, oh, well, I guess. So I think we'll save that for a time you actually need it, especially since I am doing lots of, I'm really, actually that's not clear, I'll talk about that later, but I'm really pulling the camera over here anyway.
It's a difficult one to force.
Yes.
And hopefully with the points of interest, we can have the reasoning that we never actually need to, because those should work to draw the player's attention.
The thing. I suspect we will barely need it. And well, yeah, that's the thing. It's less important now, and certainly here, it's like, I don't see why you need to do it. So a cool little thing I hacked together badly is I've realized actually since I've done it, I want to do it a different way. But anyway, the important thing is, so we still have the thing here where it's pushing your camera way up. So for those who didn't see this last time, if you can see, let's get out of these for a minute. You can see there's that yellow circle right on the center of the player. That's the camera aggregate. That's everything that might be influencing where the camera is focused. That's where it ends up. So if I move over here, you can see it starts drifting up towards up towards that switch there, and that's because that's what I want it to do. Now the cool thing is that if I turn these off, bar there are a few little sort of bugs and hitches, it's pretty smooth because it's got a large area to walk over. I should point out that I still think they're all too aggressive, but we're just kind of, you know, feeling out the system and there's things I need to understand. But what I couldn't get it to do before is now, in a very first pass way, I've got them hooked up to the switches, so they actually use the same interface that the switch does. So now the switch opens the grate, but also it drags the camera down. So actually what I realized I should have done is what the switch does is it turns one of them off and turns another one on. So when I do it, I have to do this closer. Can't wait until the player controller is fixed. So it'll nudge down by itself. So what that does is turns off the one that was pushing it up and turns on another one that's dragging it down. But actually I realized I can be way more subtle than that. I can just make it so that at the top it automatically does this anyway, but then when you drop back down here, the other one's turned off, so it doesn't shove it back up, and that's probably enough. But anyway, the cool thing is, Ben, unsurprisingly, did a good job of that, so I barely needed to change anything just to access the things he'd already made. And even with this, like, if we see, so you've got this pretty flipping massive circle. But again, this nearly works, actually, because at the moment, obviously, for demo flow, I'm kind of fine that it's not, it doesn't work both ways. But this is kind of cool. Again, if we ignore some hitches because it's not perfect, but like I like the way you come here and it's starting to come over with you. But if you were to go back here for the time being, it starts moving up, and that's quite natural. Again, not perfect, but it's getting
I think there's a big question over how heavy-handed we want to be with these and how frequently we want to use them and what it even is to be heavy-handed. Because even there, with you saying these are quite aggressive, I'm fine.
Yeah, it's got to feel it out. I mean, because hey, it all just comes to how much time we have. Because this feels like when you come back here post tutorial, you would probably just turn this one off and either have another one that was more central, or God, maybe even have one that's done. You're right. How far we go, but I think of all the ones that I've been completely accidentally done, this one actually I felt like I was like, oh, this is quite nice. It's like if I try and just look at the player, I don't feel that the camera's just flying off on its own, but also if I look at where the player is relative to the edges, it's clearly like massively offset, but it doesn't feel that weird.
We can, as long as we don't pepper areas that have AI with them, so that the player has the necessary control, or use them in areas where there's AI to frame a sensible frame of the room, then I think we're golden with that.
And of course, the other thing is, which I've barely dipped into, is Ben, it actually set a priority, so you could still do that, but say if there's AI in this room, stop, or the other way around. So there's more than enough options for me to make a complete mess of it and then fix it.
So the first thing I have notes for last week was the hide spot tutorialization room.
Yeah, we're nearly there.
You can zip all the way there.
So, but I changed this.
Oh, you did?
I did, because I thought about it, and I thought about it a lot and a lot and a lot. And so the thing, what used to be here, for anyone who can see it, is we used to have enforced crouch here, and then a different kind of switch, like a button switch, that flipped these. And the more I thought about it, the kind of less happy I got about it. The other thing is, so for the crouch, it's one of these things where it's just this long train of things happen, right? It's like we had the crouch only because you wanted to force them to press the button, right? Fine. But you've already done quite a lot of crouching, so it's like, well, we're not actually teaching you anything new, and also we're just kind of slowing you down. And then the switch itself, I'm like, I want to use it later. Like I want it to be a cool thing we do something else with, because obviously it can be attached to walls and maybe it's a pressure switch, blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, well, if we give it away here, then it's kind of gone. And also, so those two things, and the last thing was with these grates being open and then being closed, it had that thing where it's like, okay, if you go up there, if you go up this top bit and you fall down and you land on this grate, you're like, oh, thank God that grate was there. That would have really sucked. But if you didn't do that, which most people didn't, like you walk through there, some things close and you're like, oh, okay. And then it just all felt weird. And then I realized by looking sort of what we've got after and what we've got before, you just kind of don't need it. And it's still a nice room. So yeah, obviously this needs a tidy up, because I literally just deleted it. But I actually, to be honest, I kind of like it. And obviously with soon to be added improvements, I actually think this will be quite nice.
So it doesn't matter for the demo, because we don't need to stick to these kind of rules, but obviously we've got forbidden grates that can never be opened. It's not so bad because you can obviously see where they go, nowhere. Yes. But like you say, at some point in the future, maybe those can be reused to allow access to some kind of Scooby snack. So
yeah, and Ed's just saying a number of people probably didn't even realize they'd walked over a switch, which was definitely the case. And we discussed that some of that was a timing thing, but I think it's got that thing. It's got that ordering issue where it's like it never feels correct, and it's certainly never satisfying if you solve something before you realize it was a problem. So I spent some time trying to figure out a thing where it'd be like, okay, well, what if you encounter a grate that's open that you need to close to progress, and you'd be like, oh, okay, there's a switch. And I just couldn't do it without making a big mess, or I couldn't do it without, say, having it on a wall, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to do that now. So yeah, I think again, like, so there's a number we're about to encounter some more, but there's a number of these grates that you're right at the moment they're just forever closed grates, and I will freely admit it's something it's a can that is being kicked down that road. But
it's fine. I mean, they can always become wooden platforms. It's just we've got this very sewery kind of concept.
I mean, to be honest, I wonder if we have another way of saving people, and don't worry, I'm not pushing for this that whole no death thing again, but if we have another way of preventing those from being quite so horrible, I think the potential for a sewer key or something, something you can come back and manipulate them somehow could work. But as I said,
have to be another asset because we need switch triggerable ones. But yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
other than having bought another asset, which I should be more upset than I am.
Yeah, I said I really admit kicking a can down the road. So I should point out as we're starting to talk about them a bit more, this is because at the moment I'm basically just experimenting with the point of interest stuff more, just to see what it can do and what it can't and what feels right. So this is one's a pretty straightforward one. It's just a massive one that just starts dragging it that way, and then you see. So when you're coming towards the wall and needing to do stuff, then it's coming back towards you. But the reason I like it, and one of the first reasons I asked about this, is because what I like is that you can't see this. Like, I know you can move the camera and look, but it just feels...
Yeah, but that's a deliberate thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, if you want to do that, by all means, go and do it. But if you're just, like, focus on your thing...
You're an explorer type, and you're going to find all the things. Yeah. Congratulations. But everyone else is going to be led around. And it does allow us to hide things as well. Just be cheeky with it. But to be honest, I wouldn't have known, because I didn't check where poison... I knew that some new poison had gone in, but I didn't really know where. And you just ran through that, and it looked smooth, and I didn't know you placed any.
Yeah,
so
well, that's hopefully the end
the worry
result.
That they might be intrusive, I think we can put to bed. I think they're just smoothing everything up.
Well, wait until you see this next bit that doesn't work properly yet. But yes, I think by and large they are behaving, and when I understand a bit more about how Ben's implemented it, I think I'll be able to improve that as well, because there's a few bits of it I'm just not quite sure how it works. I'm sure it worked correctly. But anyway, so this kind of works as well. So at this point, right, you're inside the sort of maximum influence, so it's still nudging it that way a bit. And then when you get here, I think actually I just start playing with the priorities, right? So now you're in 2, but this one on the right is a higher priority, so it's already nudging you. And then by the time you come through here, it's pushing it off to the right, which is kind of what you want. And then when you come down here, so this is, again... This is the area where, yes, when we're a bit further into development, we can think about, because obviously now it's like, well, now should it when
come
you come
across
back
right
here, should it just always look back up there, or should it never do that again? Don't know, but at the moment it does. But you could, very easy to turn it off. Very easy to turn it off. But anyway, this is the most experimental and most judgery bit. Just seeing what I have to play with here. So this here, so when you get there's a little trigger zone, where is it? So when you trigger it, basically it switches, and then if I move over a little bit more, there we go. So it switches it to basically following this dude, and it's fairly light, but it is following him, obviously, and then it stops following him when he passes you. So yeah, at the moment it's really grabby, but as a sort of proof of concept, it's quite cool. But anyway, early days with that. Unfortunately, there's no easy way to reset him, but he's come a fair way from last week, because last week he did absolutely nothing, and now again I feel like the building blocks are in place, but it needs tuning. So what happens is he'll start up here, and then when you pass through that trigger, he will come here. Oh yes, I should point out, so that is like that because we now have this thing where the AI will notice when a torch isn't lit, and they're interested in that, and they'll go and light it. However, a small oversight, because it happens a lot, we forget, because obviously it's a 2D game, but there is literally depth. He tries to walk backwards into the scene to reach it, and he can't, so I've just nudged it forward, so that's why that looks stupid and really upsets everyone. But hey, as a proof of concept, it works. Like, we can script him, we can give him light scripting, we can make him do things, we can turn points of interest off and on. Yeah, again, when we're much further down the line, I've spent some time polishing that, but it works, and basically I don't have to bother Ben for more features. I can make it work.
Sweet. So this was the main place for
Yes.
Well, it was the first place, not the main place, but it's one of the places where stuff was supposed to change, and it has. So
Yes.
lower mantle on right actually isn't. It's higher mantle on right,
Mhm.
because you can probably still mantle that. I don't think you can do anything with it.
Nope. Yeah, you probably can now. Okay.
You could probably jump off it backwards and get back where you were. So congrats, or just get up in that hole and feel all safe.
The main thing was like, go on.
Well, no, you just pop up there. I would
Yeah,
assume.
the thing was, it was just. It's weird when you looked at it just with your eyes. It looked really straightforward, but it was just always really fiddly. And some of it, I'm sure, is player control, but some of it was just like, you know what? This doesn't need to be that tough.
No, and so, we can afford to simplify things here, so just do it.
Yeah, and so all this does now is actually because of the changes we made in that previous room. Like, you don't have as many like wall jumps, so it's just a couple more of those, and it's very straightforward. This. I mean, look how much extra room you've got on there. It just feels easy. And yeah, it's not so bad. And yeah, so it's just simple.
Ed's helpfully pointing out that little mantle bit is just to keep it consistent with the symmetry on the other side. So I approve.
Yeah, I did kind of ruin this. I honestly, I'm sure they don't believe me, but I try not to. But there comes a time where you're just like, it has to do this. So, sorry. So coming up here, I didn't get time to mess around with the point of interest stuff more here, but again, I should be able to do the same thing a bit more subtly. There's just one that looks up, but what should happen is when you flick that switch, this one should turn off. So then but it doesn't at the moment. So, but anyway.
Yes, so that's something that we didn't do. So switches hooked up is still a thing.
Don't worry, I did it.
Oh, you did it?
I did it.
I was like, well, don't worry about it because we just made more anyway.
Yes. So this is another forever great currently, and yeah, I know it's just a problem for later. Hey, we fixed a lot of problems. You can't fix them all. So yeah, we will see. I admit, I got nothing.
It doesn't even matter if you can open that up though, because with that grate later, like you say, if it's something that's delayed, we can always put something in there.
Yeah.
I think, that's a nice thing for people to run past and go, ooh, save the knowledge of this place for later, and then forget about it.
Exactly.
Stick pins in the lovely map, that kind of thing.
This room is fine, like it does the job.
Yep. This room hasn't changed much in a long time.
No, it behaves.
This end of it has tons.
Yes.
But mostly it stays the same.
There we go. I'm so worried how much I've internalized having to do that weird jump. And
the ritual.
Yes. Okay, so hey, look, I tried my best. Look, it's a broken switch for a door. Amazing. So what is this gonna be? I know that obviously the lifts come down here, but is this considered complete?
Yes.
So you just have to jump across these.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I'm just like, yeah, and it's fine. It's not the biggest run around, so I'm not too upset about that. Yeah, so same thing here.
Do the ritual, do a little jump, pull a switch.
Yeah, it's fine.
Nothing to see here.
I should point out, by the way, that at some point something is broken with these switches. You see they're animating forever. It's not just the animation. As I discovered when I hooked up my point of interest to it, it's firing the message forever. Like, it's like, I'm opening. Deal with it.
Oh,
it's not a problem now. But
to a hamster.
Yes. Door is opening forever. So again, yeah, as I said, like I turn this one off, so it wouldn't be. I turn that one off, turn one on, and dragging it this way a bit, probably.
And saying this switch puzzle is solvable from the floor. I don't
this
understand.
Switch puzzle is actually solvable from the floor. Well, if it is, it shouldn't be. So yeah.
Need more info.
Yeah. Steps to reproduce.
Repro steps, please.
Like this. Can you get up there?
Probably can. Yeah, you can.
Denied. Okay, that cannot happen.
Wait a minute. How many are those? Because if those are 5, are they 5 or 4?
Ed?
No, 6. No, they're 5. Yeah, you shouldn't be able to pop that.
Yeah,
that's probably player controller. Because that was how you used to get up there. when those had wooden platforms, you could just pop and then hang on the platform. That's too wide, though, I think. Is it 4, though? Oh, no, it is 4.
Apparently it's 4. Wow. Okay, write it down. Unacceptable.
That one, just looking at it, that's an awkward one to solve. Actually, no, it's not. You'd have to pull. So if you pull those platforms in by 1, then that's fine. Or you could raise them up, like the lower part of them up by 1, so that they're all only 2 tiles thick. Those are the two easy ways of fixing that. Double barrel lift, jump up from ground, because we can't have you skipping that because it's naughty. The other option would be to lower the floor in there, which we could do. I think it's actually quite a chunky floor. So yeah, that's pretty thick. So if we wanted to shave a couple off by lowering the floor and keeping those where they are, that's another option.
Couldn't it?
What you mean, raise that platform up?
No, I mean, sorry, these stairs that are going up.
Those could dip in. They could, yeah. And then a very, very naughty, skilled person would be able to jump out and air control back in and pop up that way. I half don't even mind that one, Chris, because it's like that's per frame accuracy, and you're not doing that 100% of the time. But I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say the air control, because that's obviously on my list of things to look at, because like there's a little too much. Like
it's never been configured properly. So it has once. And we need to get back there.
Note that down. We will discuss options, but other than that, it's fine.
Double barrel lift jump up from ground is a thing. Needs to not happen. Okay. This guy triggering off script. I remember you mentioning.
He does. Again, like he needs intro and outros and stuff like that, but he does it.
Great. Bren's just made the suggestion of those stairs just being moved to the right or left a bit, which would also work.
This can also work. Oh, there is a bug that I want you to write down. We don't need to fix it now, but just for tracking. There's collision on this open door, so.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, there's collision.
It's probably cutting nav still. Well, of course it's cutting nav because he's not going through. The vases used to cut nav as well.
Yeah.
I think that some of the props do some weird stuff with nav cutting.
Let me help you. Oh no, he helped me because I tried to use him.
How dare you? Well, there we go. And it crashed.
Don't work. Yeah, that's
congratulations.
The best thing about checkpoints. They're the best, aren't they? Just hop back over here. Nothing to see here, people.
Delicious live crash.
It's not a live stream if you don't have at least one live crash.
Okay. Well, there we go. It's official. Just wait for that to load up again. It's going to take a while.
Nah, it won't take that long.
What were you just on? It was yes, portcullises are cutting nav. Are doors cutting nav, or is it maybe just portcullises? I guess we'll have to check.
I seem to remember I did have a quick look before.
I just asked because it's not the only prop that's been doing this. So
yeah, we'll have a look.
So there may be more.
I'll drag the old player over there.
Hide spots were, and I think smashy vases were as well. Which was annoying because they'd walk up to the hide spot and then they'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" Just gonna walk into where you're hiding forever.
Yeah, not so good. Okay. We'll just lost it.
Yeah, don't. Who knows? Maybe it'll crash again.
I got complacent. No, it is the checkpoint thing. I do know about that. Stupid. Anyway, so we can look while we're here. Yeah, look, file is there, but it's. I'm not sure if it's actually like. I don't think it's deleted. I think it's just marked as impassable in a way that I'm not sure how, because obviously there's several ways to do that. Anyway, we've had issues like that before, but that's what it is. It's not. It's just something to be tracked. Like we don't actually need to fix it right now. Okay.
Oh, the AI are cutting nav. That's why the checkpoint nodes don't like being placed on AI. They think they can't get there.
Yeah, you're probably right. Okay, anyway. Pretend, that didn't happen. Everything was fine.
I didn't see anything, Chris.
Exactly. So, this has moved on a bit. In fact, I can't remember from last week. Was last week still the empty map? Don't know. Anyway. Oh my god. Also, I bet you I've just killed myself, which would be amazing if I have. But anyway, so this has, again, still quite placeholder, but a bit more representative. The idea that they give you, you know, a chunk, like a little drawing thing like that. And that's to say, oops, sorry, that's a zoom. That's to go, hey, this is a place you should probably be interested in, but I don't know too much about it. So we got the proper graphic in there. Well, I say proper graphic. We've got something representative, but not for the correct area. That's fine. The next step, which I think Joe is going to be starting soon, is actually having it reveal as you move around. But hey, you know, it's getting there. Now let's see if I killed myself, because I think I did. Oh, I was lucky. I've done it before, because obviously you're doing your jump use ritual. If you jump and then a map opens, it pauses the game, but not the game.
And you're falling
time.
forever.
Yeah. And the map closes and you die, which is not good.
Yeah. Whoops.
Yes.
Probably
okay.
not just count that one.
Yeah. Well, what's going on?
Yeah, I moved these, and then I spied your thing in Slack saying, "Hey, has anyone got changes in master?" I was like, "Oh, me," but I guess I'll delete them again. That's the second time that I've deleted these. I think we might not master the gameplay layer.
Yeah.
Because I did a load of stuff up top as well, but it's fine. I'll just have to do it again.
Okay. So what is, remind me, actually, I love to say I'm pretending for the benefit of the audience, but remind me what's going on with this.
So that's your Smashy Vase introduction. And the route is to go underneath the floor below you. So if you come over to your right.
What I will do is just not take any chances.
Yep. Move that geezer out of the way.
Okay, so we've killed him in a way that we will show another time because we're working on it, but he's dead now. And now
he is dead now. Yeah, you duck under that. You've got a ladder to jump and grab there from wall popping.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first one on the left that you need to do to get to the switch, that one you can jump from the floor, and then this one requires that you pop up from a wall. You can't pop that wall because it's broken. But you can pop this one. Oh no, you might want to move him.
Got this.
Get yourself into.
Oh.
So his patrol should take him back and forth along there. So you wait,
so
you hang.
See him.
Yeah, you hang wait there, or we can even set him off. I mean, all of these we can set off on script just to be nice and friendly through this early portion. And then you would need to, the next set of wooden platforms, you would dangle under there, wait for him to cross back over, get back up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then his vase is where that nice fetching magenta.
Delicious.
Okay,
so you have to get
the pink placeholder. Yeah, so it's Keith's favorite arrangement of jumps, which I have to say is one of my favorite arrangement of jumps. I love how those look. And the neat thing about this is you come out here, it's a one tile, so you can't run jump it. So you're going to want to standing jump, or if you're cautious, you can drop down and jump straight across. And it leads you to, and you're directly over his head, you know.
Yeah.
So you ain't missing it when you smash that, which is pretty neat. So yeah, then you're out to the left. This all needs to be stitched back up properly at some point, but here be dragons for now. I don't know whether we might get onto that next week, you know. Stitch up. I'll know what that is. I'm not going to make a task for that because it's the natural end state of a lot of this stuff. And then when you're about to get to the stuff I've been messing around with today.
Which happens if you wall jump where? Oh, Ollie is asking what happens if you wall jump somewhere, but where is it?
Yeah, we're a good few seconds time delayed, Ollie. So
yeah.
We don't know.
I mean, I spotted a few opportunities where you probably could, and I think you I don't think you would get anywhere, or I'll be honest, as it's
just
early
before
days.
Could you? No. He means if you go up to the next floor.
Yeah. Oh, I think I know what he means, and I did think about it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to fall to my death, and I don't want to do that again right now.
So if you wall jump this, you would either grab that platform
Let's see.
Oh, that one. Yeah,
the one you
that's
meant?
not going to work. Or if you were on the lower one, it wouldn't do anything either. And that's a 5 gap there, I think.
This
Is
one you mean?
it?
That's pretty safe.
Yeah, and the
both
one
pretty
opposite.
safe. I often check for this one because like we had a few amazing like.
Well, that jump height there isn't consistent, so sometimes it's a little bit higher. Who knows why? But it should keep going up the wall as long as you keep holding A. I'm not sure that that's entirely consistent right now. But hey, like we don't need to QA that jump.
Oh, right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so nothing to say about this yet because it's still kind of impacted by stuff that has not been finished yet. Okay, is this like tell me what happens here?
So it's shimmy bars. So you might be able to. Those things might be a little bit close. I'll probably have to because you might be able to jump directly onto that one and just pop up.
Yeah,
so I'll need to change that. Yeah. Ooh. Saved by the shimmy bar, kind of. You're not supposed to be able to mantle up those. So this is going to be a similar thing to the AI setup below, except you use the shimmy bar and you go over him.
Can't move.
Oh, that's a shame. Try jumping where it's not colliding into.
Yeah. Hang on, there we go. I got it.
So yeah, so the shimmy might break when you get there. Does it? No, it's perfectly happy.
Yeah,
so the only thing about this is shimmy's a little bit slow, but I thought there's no other way that I can force you to without it. You see, the thing is, if you shimmy for a length of time that's acceptable, it either has to be over a really big gap, which we can't do right now because we can't have people falling acceptable distances, or it has to be quite a long way so that it's longer than a jump. So that's kind of what I'm bound with.
I think about it. I mean, it's one that I remember when it went in, I was like, I understand how we've ended up with this speed because obviously it's one of these situations where it's ended up being led by the animation. But yeah, it's pretty flippin' slow.
It needs to be quicker. Yeah.
I mean, it's the one I always notice the most in, say, for example, Splinter Cell. Like the speed he does that. Like if you look at it and you go, that's crazy. But
we might need to make it look more like a monkey bar sort of thing, more like Strider. You know, bit more badass ninja to it. So yeah, you can wall jump that. Failing is nasty on this one. It's a very straight line down. This was another thing that occurred actually while I was going through Keith's work here, was having so many non-solid platforms just kind of lined up in a way that we haven't before, and different types of them. It made me think of, well, holding down in B just to kind of swing down, swing down, swing down. So you can drop quite a way in a fluid motion would be nice. But again, advanced player controller stuff. This is the first place where we would have used it.
I mean, I think a lot of this will be good because I know obviously it's not doing that right now, but I think this is some of the ways you can guard against like unintentional massive drops that doesn't look really weird.
So I need to flip the way up here. Because you're supposed to come across. You used to come across from the other side, and we shortened it by 1, and I haven't solved that yet. Okay. So there's two pulse wings in there. Those aren't configured, but if you go over to the left, just pretend you did a snaky switchback.
I'm
gonna have to solve that. So
risking this. So I'm going up here,
and then over to the opposite platform.
This one.
Yep, that's the one.
Oh no.
Yeah, he used to be in the right place. Oh well.
Never mind.
Never mind.
As I said, I honestly, like, as ridiculous as it is, I think it's good to show this because this is actually what making games is like. And then next week, you get to show it being good. Okay, so up here.
Nope, that's an option that you can take if you want to die.
Okay, so I do not want to die.
It'll be very plainly, there's gribblies up here, don't go up there. That might be portcullis sealed though. Again, there was another floor that you could get onto and do it the stupid way if you wanted to. But that portcullis is there just to draw you into the problem over that side, that there's another sand zombie reaching through, don't go this way. Make you turn around and think about those pink magenta squares that are actually supposed to be pulse wings. So you pulse swing your way across.
Oh, because they're black tiles, aren't they? They're not be up here.
It might be because I've got there's another foreground and I've got it turned off.
Oh, right.
So this will all be a bit yanky.
Pretend I'm not doing
but
that.
yeah, if you go over to the
right,
right,
that is totally what that is. Okay. How will I go over to the right?
It might just be a good idea to zoom out on this and talk through it, because it's not app functional. This is a SketchUp phase, really, just to get everything fitting in with Keith's stuff.
Yep.
And then I have to work out how I'm getting over to the right again now that I've shortened it, because we decided to shorten it, and now I haven't gone. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong side now. So.
Because it's still.
Because you're in perspective as well.
No, it's all because it's half in game, half not in game. I don't normally do this. It just feels very weird. Okay.
Yeah. So from where you are, you've got a double pole swing or single pole swing, depending on the strength of our pole swings. But just a nice, simple going in a straight line gap for the pole swing gets you over to the opposite side. If you fail, it's not too catastrophic because you'll either land on that broken bit in the middle, and then you can drop down onto the shimmy bar, drop down, pop yourself back up again, and try it again. Although you'd be popping up on the wrong side because of aforementioned issues. It's fine. I'm just going to have to lower that thing on the left and bring you back around another way. I've got a solution already, I think. Anyway, so you get over to the right. Boring guide and jump, pop up that side, because I don't really want to build another room on the side of there now. And that probably will be something akin to another room, but for the purposes of the demo, I want you to get up into the rafters there. And then once you get up into the rafters, you can see there's another shimmy bar tutorial to take you across the top, and it gets you into the rafters above another sand monster that's on that left side. So you would drop down on the left side, come down the ladder, which would allow you to clock the two, again, the zombie on the right and the zombie on the left on the door to the midden. Smash a jar, pull a switch, that opens that portcullis. This is all now nice and open and free and easy to get through because that portcullis has been opened, and then you can wander over to the midden door and go and meet the people. Go and meet your people, the people.
Got away with it. I've not got away with it. Admittedly, I haven't tried doing lots of attaching and detaching for a long time. I don't think it likes that very much anymore. I think I sort of know why, but doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. Oh wait,
it does. Great.
It just likes to really think about it before it does it. Okay. So ignore what I'm doing, but I'm just getting over here. Oh yeah, but there's still all those there.
There's still hidden stuff. Yeah, you're safe now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's roughly the shape of that. We'll probably need a more focused review over that.
That's the last bit, right? I mean, that's the last bit that has any significant. Okay, well, actually, this has got some significant, but this is kind of easier.
Just the changes I made to that halfway through today, I've actually made it make less sense. Because like, can you cut a floor out of it? I'm like, yeah, no problem, dog. And off I went, and I cut a floor out of it, and then we've gone live, and I've gone, oh wait, you end up over this side now. That's a bit stupid. Oh well.
Oh, well.
So yeah, I can work that out though. But
so the thing, go on.
No, it's just we'll have to discuss whether we think doing shimmies and pole swings in there is working. But like, I'll have to get it to work. So hey, that's fun for tomorrow.
Yeah. So the thing to point out here is, we decided that we spoke about it before, but this area
we have a thing for this, don't we?
Yeah, like so. This is we want it to be like a safe area, and we want to try a bunch of things without literally doing, like what Hitman does, saying this is safe. Try a few things. One of which being going back to this zoom level. I say going back to because way back when we started on this game, this was the default zoom level, which seems crazy, but hey, it was. And hey, it works. Some stuff feels a bit weird, but that's kind of just because what we're used to. But so tell me about what's going on here, because it's happening, right? It just hasn't quite happened yet.
Yes. Tell you what, let me.
Oh yeah.
No, I clicked the wrong button. I'll just share it with you so you can find it quickly.
Yeah, I did have it, but then I forgot.
Well, it's fine because now you may have it again.
Okay. This is what's happening.
Bit grander.
Yes. I mean, so the main thing to me that said I managed to get my left and right mixed up. I always do that. Thanks, parents. But the first thing I said was I like the idea because the main thing we wanted to do, apart from make it look more grand and more like a hub, is we've had these lifts here. I want it to be that at the moment you could just go, oh, cool, I'm going to go straight to lifts immediately, and that's kind of not much fun. And then I was thinking, okay, well, this will be walled off. You can see through it maybe, but it's closed, and you have to go around. But instead, what Ed has done is made this so it's climbable only when you can wall run and get to the top. So I like that, because the first time you come here, you probably will just be like, oh, this looks cool. I'm going to try and get up here. And you can't. And you probably just think, oh well. Or depending on how Metroidvania savvy you either think that, or you'll be like, I will come back here. But for this time, so you'll have to work your way around and come through to the other side, and obviously then we can fire off a bunch of nice, tasty visual treats and all these sweet mushrooms down here, for example. I think that's really cool.
Yep, I agree. So the other thing that's changing with the double barrel lift is we're now stowing them in those little cubby holes in the top, so that you arrive here and you pull a switch and they go to their positions, one at the top and one at the bottom.
Yes. Okay, I see.
It's another thing that this is doing. But yeah, it's not using a whole ton more. In fact, it's not really using any more space. But I think it's a more interesting design, I think. So, hey, look forward to that, because that'll be being arted up now, I guess.
Right.
Because that's all approved. Yeah. So this will change. So hopefully, it'll change quite substantially for next week, or definitely the week after.
Yeah.
So yeah, what else did we have on the list from last week? Well, just check that what on the list that we did have. There's still switches to hook up. Scripty stuff got done. New map markers, we got those, I assume.
Yeah.
Well, we did. Yeah, you showed the specific map markers. The review of Vars Smash telegraphing, that's all in progress. We might show some of that next week. I don't know, but I think getting that right is going to be more involved than.
I don't think we're going to.
I can't foresee how long it's going to take. I think.
If you'll
trying to say,
give the pun, I don't think we will smash it, but I think we can make it a lot better than
Vars smashing. Nice.
But yeah, it's because the thing is, like, it's just when they came in originally, it came in very late. It came in like super hot, and it was never looked at as a whole. It was like, does this effect look okay? Yeah, I think it looks alright. Does this effect look okay? Yeah, I think it looks alright. We never actually had any discussions about it altogether.
Yeah.
So I think that will help a lot. But I agree. I don't think it's not just going to work. But yeah. Was there much else apart from
there was
the other cool thing?
Bit. We said to review the pre-mid Nexus, which we did, and we're doing it again this week, because that needs to be out of my awful white box and into something close to art. And then that means we can seal up, we can connect everything around there up and rely on those connections a little bit more and deal with the aqueduct area for next week as well.
Yeah.
Midden play flow review. We didn't really do, but that's fine because it's not time. Lift housing. Well, we did actually. Ed's done it, and lift housing for the midden. So that'll actually be actioned this week. So we've got a plan for it. Camera zoom in transition on volume by script. We just saw that.
Hell yeah.
Repopulate top of traitors fall. That really hasn't been done, but nobody's getting there, I don't think, for the demo. So that's fine. And refine wall run tutorials is another one that's out in that wing of the demo that we think is probably far enough into. Nobody's going to really get there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're pretty much there for the main path. We just got to get those last few bits of functional white box or non-functional white box to functional white box to art.
Yes.
In a week, 2 weeks, seems fine.
How hard can it be? No, I think it should be fine.
Yeah. Feel good about that. Cool. So what else we got?
I got the one thing, but is there anything else? Because also it's going to be the last thing. Assuming it works.
I did. You do that last thing.
Okay, so speaking of coming in hot, this literally arrived just before we started. So Bren has put in again. Help me. How do you describe this? What is this exactly? I know what it is. But...
It's an ambient drone. So one of the things we're building is we're hoping to build and are building. We are building and hope will work. There we go. Those are the right words. Is a live music sequencer to take advantage of Unreal's new audio engine. So we're hoping to run not just something that's a set of loops, but actually run live synthesizers and samplers and samples and regular recorded audio all together and keep it in time and none of it falls over. That's the dream. So what we have now is kind of a base coat, just the under drone. And generally in the game, we're not thinking of accompanying you with score wherever you go and really hitting you with music all the time. Most of the time, particularly because it's a stealth game and listening around you is important, nicely carved out little drones that are themed to whatever area you're in, which then get built up by the dynamic system. So when you get spotted or you hit a special event, there'll be sequences that fire or change the color of what you're listening to. So that's the dream, but we have drones for now.
Okay, so fingers crossed. I'm going to activate the drones and shut up for a small amount of time. Drones.
The air smelled of stagnant water and mold.
Anyway, yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yes.
Again, it's early, so I'm not gonna leave it
A little
hanging
bit
forever.
of the VO in there as well.
Yes,
It is a little bit of VO. But yes, so there should be more Foley sound effects, that kind of thing, turning up to pad that out. So down in that initial portion up to the waterfall that's very well passed for everything else, tile maps, art, lighting, is going to start getting its Foley audio pass and the basic drone and kind of giving it the character of that damp, dark hole.
Ed is happy. It reminds him of the classic Thief game. So we've got one sale. That's all we need. Just
Crikey.
No, honestly, in all seriousness, like I've quite deliberately avoided thinking about audio or how, because the thing is, audio I guess less than some of the other disciplines, but I never want to use it as a crutch. I'm like, this isn't very good, but the audio will fix it. I always prefer that it enhances it, and just going from a completely silent game, silent for nearly a year, to anything,
Just
of
a bit of
quality.
atmos.
Yeah, the atmosphere, and just giving that bed to that little bit of VO, it just, it's delicious. It's very exciting.
Stuff to build on. You start to hear
Yes.
things that are missing as well, because it's like, now we need a bit of reverb on that video.
Yes. Yes.
It will she swallowed the spider to catch the fly. But that's good. I mean, in this instance, it's somewhere that we need to move and start moving really quickly. And getting these, base coats on of the drones that color each area and the Foley. I mean, just looking at that screen there, once you've got torches burning and flames licking and drips dripping and all that kind of stuff, just with the drone that already gives the kind of air and sort of windy, spacey feel to it, should feel pretty good.
Yeah,
So
I am super excited about it. So I think that's everything. Yeah. So we'll be back again next week. We got a list of stuff to go through. But this week, I mean, there's been a lot of progress and there's a lot more exciting stuff to come. Hopefully, we'll be shown in a few weeks. But the main thing is, in terms of being able to complete the demo start to finish without cheating, we're like 2 rooms away, I think, which is good. And the point of interest
Technically
is really
one.
working. Okay, one large room to go. And I'm just seeing Bren saying there's a fresh consignment of drips coming in tomorrow. So,
that sounds great. I like my drips fresh.
Yeah, so that'll be great. Ollie says they're drip feeding us.
There we go. Respect the pun, everyone. I think that's a good good note to leave it on.
Okay, thanks very much, guys. We'll see you again, same time next week, 8 p.m. GMT. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye for now.